again. I feel like I need a... Hi, everybody. We're going to get started with our afternoon programming. I hope you enjoyed your second breakout session. Before I hand it over to Paula, who's going to completely relax you and put you in the perfect state of mind for the rest of our day, I would like to make a quick announcement that maybe you've seen the lights just beyond the stairs and the other video cameras, not these ones. We have a film crew here who would love to interview anybody who's willing. This will be used partly for us, it's your feedback on our event, and partly for promotional purposes. So if you're comfortable with sharing your thoughts on the summit today, why you wanted to come, what you've learned, anything like that, certainly not during this time when you're getting all the good stuff up here, but in our next break will be when it's over. If you're willing to go over to the videographers and just talk briefly about your experience, we would really appreciate that. So thank you. And with that, I will turn it over to Paula, one of our amazing Helpline PD information specialists. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
10 minutes, right? Good afternoon. I almost forgot to come here because I was having so much fun over there. You know, we have some very competitive people over there. You should have seen that balloon volleyball game. We had spiking, we had setups, we had a little bit of everything. So, I bet if I asked you how many of you meditate or use guided imagery on a regular basis, oh good, well, I got a few. I hear it all the time. I don't have time for that. So we're going to start with something that I know you have time with. And it's something that I know I use on the helpline, because those calls can sometimes get deeply emotional and very overwhelming. And I need to be able to clear that out and get ready to handle the next person. So something that you always have time to do is 3 deep breaths. And that's what I'd like you to do right now. If you can put both feet flat on the ground, put your hand on your belly, and you want your belly to expand, and you're going to take in slowly and out slowly. And there's 2 different schools. You can either blow the breath out through your mouth or you can blow it out through your nose, whatever you're comfortable with. But let's try the 3 breaths and just kind of sense how your body feels right now and how it feels when we finish the 3 breaths. So let's give it a try. Breathe in and out. And in and out. And in and out. Okay, next is a very simple introduction to mindfulness meditation. If I tell you to simply watch your breath, and as thoughts come into your mind, just let them go, most people will find that kind of difficult to do. I find it difficult to do. So I use one of the techniques that Andrew Weil, the holistic doctor, some of you may have gotten onto his site or seen his shows on public television a lot, and also John Kabat-Zinn, who is probably the founder of mindfulness and relaxation therapy, especially in use with chronic disease and chronic pain. So what we're going to try is, I want you to breathe in and out. I want you to do it naturally. You have your choice. You can have your eyes open or closed. If you're going to leave them open, it helps if you choose a spot about 4 feet in front of you on the carpet so that you're really not interfered with the other visual things going on. And I want you to breathe in, and then on the out breath in your mind, you count 1. And then you breathe in again, and on the out breath, 2, till you get to 10, and then you start over again. If you lose count, which is what will happen when the brain starts going off and worrying about what's on the grocery list or who's going to take the dog out or whatever else that your brain can think of, you just start over again. And we're going to try doing that for about 2 minutes. So get your eyes comfortable and go. And come back to me. For those of you that might find that difficult, and some people do, they find sitting and doing nothing to be very hard to do. Remember that you can do walking meditation. And we can't do walking meditation here, we don't have that kind of room. But if we did, you would walk very slowly, and instead of counting your breaths, you would concentrate as the foot hit the ground, as the heel hit and the toe hit, then the heel lifts and the foot lifts. You are following your steps. And that is that is just as good, nothing wrong with it, as sitting or lying down meditation. Works just as well. The last one we're going to do is a guided imagery. And always remember, with a guided imagery, I'm going to do one with you, but you may not like the picture that I draw for you. And if you don't, it's not going to be relaxing for you. So always try to choose a guided imagery that is your happy place. I just watched the old movie Happy Gilmore, and they were teaching him how to go to his happy place. And so we're going to try doing that. Again, I'd like you to try to have your feet flat on the floor. The idea is that the energy is flowing freely through your body when you're sitting straight and your feet are flat. And this time I'd like you to close your eyes because I need you to picture what it is that I'm going to say. All right. You're driving your car when you see a pull-off to the side of the road. You decide, I think I want to see what that trail is all about. You pull the car into the slot, you get out of the car, lock the door, and start down the path. The path is smooth, but it's not paved. There are ferns and pine trees and oaks and birches on both sides of the path as you walk. You notice that it's cooler. The parking area was quite warm, but this is cool and comfortable, and a soft breeze caresses your cheeks as you walk. You continue to walk, and you notice that there becomes a boardwalk. And you step onto the boardwalk, and you look to either side of you, and you realize the forest has now become a wetland, and that's why you're walking on the boardwalk. Suddenly you can hear frogs croaking. There's more sunshine as it dances off the ferns and the other plants that love to have their feet wet. You look to both sides of you and you think, there's no one here except me and the frogs. And then you notice that there's a lovely red cardinal flitting from tree to tree. So it's you and the frogs and the cardinal. You continue walking, and now you're off the boardwalk and back onto a path that's covered in pine needles. And as you look around you, the other trees, the other forest trees, aren't growing here. It's all pine trees. And you look up, and they're as tall as you can imagine. In fact, you're now standing in an opening, and you're surrounded by these beautiful, tall pine trees. It's almost like being in a cathedral as the sun dances on the needles and shadows the ground. You take a deep breath and you smell the pine air and the coolness. It's even cooler here, but you're still comfortable. And now there's no birds and there's no frogs. It's completely quiet. And if you listen carefully, you can hear the wind rustling the boughs of the pine trees. You take another moment to just suck all of this in. And then you decide that you've rested long enough and it's time to go back to the car. You turn around and walk down the needle-covered path. You're smiling to yourself inside because you didn't know that any place this beautiful could exist that close to the road that you drive on all the time. You step back on the boardwalk and there's those frogs. They're croaking and the cardinal's there, and it's been joined by several chickadees who are just peaching at you as you walk by. Off the boardwalk, you're back on the smooth walkway, and you notice again, now there are pine trees, but now you have the birches and the oaks and the elms. You turn one last corner, and there's your car in the parking lot. You reach for your keys, open the door, you get in, you start the engine, and back out onto the road. But you won't forget this quiet and wonderful place that you had a chance to visit. Thank you very much. I hope that gives you a little taste. I hope that you will find a way to integrate relaxation, meditation, guided imagery into your day. It can make a huge difference, and it can make a huge difference in the way you think about what is happening to you from one minute to the next. Enjoy the rest of the conference. I have to go back and play balloon volleyball.